What happens when you let enfant terrible, now just terrible, Daniel Nardicchio off his leash to say and do whatever he wants? The man who has offended everyone is back.
Along with my brother from another mother, Adam Klesch, we're back with our latest creation, Trigger Warning, a podcast that is not for the faint of heart.
Prepare to be offended, enlightened, and highly entertained.
Trigger Warning is not a safe space podcast, but answers the questions no one wants to ask. Serves steep in vodka and a dash of bitter.
Each week, we'll bring you the highest and lowest in NYC nightlife.
So buckle up. You've been warned. Okay, I'm Daniel Nardicchio. You're here listening to us at Trigger Warning.
I'm Adam Meet Hammer Klesch.
And we are
so full of life today, obviously.
It's a tough weekend. It's always this difficult when we have a weekend like this. We're back-to-back events.
Well,
Tonight
you had everything planned so perfectly.
Yeah, it was tough.
And it's just the dominoes have fallen.
Yeah,
on
yesterday was really tough with Cheyenne Jackson arrival, which we'll talk about in a few minutes with Cheyenne Jackson. Actually, he's going to be on the show. I want to talk to him about his relationship with Fire Island. I find it very interesting. Every person we have out here has, well, not everyone. Some of them don't at all, but like some of them, like Bridget, has a long-term relationship with Fire Island. And being a sober person, I'm going to be interested to find out what his relationship is as a sober person. I'm going to ask him a little bit about his sobriety and stuff. But I love the guy. Yesterday, he was such a sweetheart dealing with him. And I met him years ago. He and I went to Vienna in the Life Ball, a bunch of people. And every time
That was when they would take that crazy plane, right?
The Life Ball was a once-in-a-year event that they did in Vienna, Austria, like in the city center, at the city center. It was amazing. I've never been to, and I never will ever go to a party like that again. The entire city of
Vienna, Austria.
Vienna, yeah. What they fly you there, and it was you on a plane with a bunch of models. It's a fashion show. It's celebrities, and I'd be on a plane sitting next to Paulina Portskova and Kim Cattrall and like all these people.
And Kim Cattrall would give a speech in German, right?
I think
didn't she get up and say something? She speaks perfect German.
She speaks German. That's true.
She looks like a German speaker.
I don't remember much about it because everyone that went down there as like an event. They had to be a part of the event. Like they were a performer, because they would have big name performers performing. Alan Cumming did it one year. And then they'd have big name performers.
And then they'd have big name
ass. No, they would always have these big name performers, or you were a model, or you were like a celebrity, and you were rushed around from thing to thing. But for me, I was a quote unquote tastemaker, which is weird, or a somewhat considered press. It was the time I was working with Lady Gaga, so they really thought I would get Lady Gaga.
Weren't you the VP of Playgirl Marketing at that time too?
And they really wanted me to get Lady Gaga, and they thought I had an in. I mean, girl, after she did Fire Island, it was she was
gone.
Rise. Yeah, she wasn't even returning my calls.
She finished my cocaine and my whiskey, and she fucking hit the river.
She's actually still flying from it. And so anyway, I went, and I remember we were getting on the plane, and I met Cheyenne and his then husband Monty, and we kept noticing each other, and then finally they came over and they said, "Have we ever had a threesome?" They couldn't
Memorable.
remember. I'm not going to bring that up either, because I feel like that might make him uncomfortable.
Because he might say,
sound like a whore.
"I don't remember,"
or he might be like, "No, girl, I'm sober now. I realize we never did that.
It never happened.
Yeah, we'd never do that." So anyway, but then we went to Vienna together or something. And then the amazing thing is, last night, after a big bunch of snafus, which we'll talk about really quickly, when he gets here.
How much ado about nothing, really.
I saw him thinking he's never going to remember who I am. I mean, that was 15 years ago, maybe.
Right.
And he comes up and gives me a big hug, and he goes, "My God, it's been years, hasn't it?" And I thought, what the fuck?
Well, that's nice, though.
With celebrities, how do I describe this? They should be like normal people and remember people, right? But a lot of times they don't, because the world revolves around them. I had
but I think we understand that a little bit. I always say to people, between the Ice Palace, Red Eye, Tipsy Bear, Zippolite, so many people come in and out of our lives, and it's not that we don't think or find them important. There's just so many people.
There are, but the civilians are different. People that just come to my events and they're civilians. They're just civilians. I mean, they're nice people and stuff like that. Yeah. No, I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean it in the sense that it's not like a performer necessarily, or a promoter, or someone in the field. There's someone that comes to the events, and I try to remember most of them, but I don't always. And I'm sure sometimes their feelings are hurt.
A lot of hey babes, hey darlings from me.
Yeah, that idiot in the Pines, Mike Cruz, he got really upset because I guess I sat at a dinner party, and he was like, you sat right next to me. you and you didn't even acknowledge me. And I was like, girl, I don't know you. You manage the Madison. I'm sorry. That isn't like, I don't know what to say. That isn't register where I have to like,
I don't even
go
think
up
I've
and
been
kiss
in the
ring.
Madison.
The guy that I dated once worked there. It's cute.
So that was definitely a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, yeah. So anyway, long story short, Cheyenne's not like that, in other words. Because I was talking about celebrities last night with someone, and I was saying how interesting it is having been in that world for
I bet
years.
the sobriety helps.
Him?
Yeah, the
Oh,
clear-headedness.
totally. Well, you can ask him that.
Yeah.
Well, ask him that. Maybe
Like,
he'll
are
say
you
no.
good with people and names because you don't get boozed?
Well, Carter wants me to give some of the CB, whatever, drugs for your
so
dog.
our guest from last week is trying to push him off the wagon.
The question
It's
is,
fine.
I mean,
it's just
a,
doggy drugs.
No, it's for the dog.
You're
though, but it's
California
weird.
sober.
Is it a conflict of interest to give it to your dog
What?
if you're sober? No, not really.
Oh.
If you're vegetarian,
No,
you
you're
have to
just a
give your dog
pusher.
meat, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do vegetarians do that? I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyway, wow, this is riveting.
Yeah.
We're going to cut all this out, but you're never going to hear this, so it's fine with us. We can just keep talking. All of you are never. If you hear this, that only means Josh didn't do his job.
Yeah. If you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, Josh was fired.
Oh my God, I'm sweating like Whitney Houston going through customs. No, I can't say that. She's dead. You can say I'm sweating.
Triggered.
Like Kesha trying to hit a high note last week at the Scissor Sisters concert.
Like Ambi trying to stay in that outfit.
I know, right? Exactly. Anyway, I'm really excited to talk to him. I think he's one of my favorite. He's been in so many of my favorite shows, from Curb Your Enthusiasm to 30 Rock. A list of things, and he's just an incredible guy. So we're going to be right back in just a minute with Cheyenne Jackson.
And you know what? I never leave home without leaving at home? My Clona Willy.
I love Clona Willy. They've been a lifesaver. They've sponsored the underwear party now, I think probably 10 years. They always send me a box of them. I always love to give them out. Clona Willy you can literally make the exact replica of your cock.
When substitution and imitation won't do.
But seriously, contact Clona Willy. Go to clonawilly.com. Use the code trigger warning for, I don't know, some money off, I'm assuming.
Got 10 inches? We got 10% off. Trigger warning at Clona Willy.
All right, you're back at Trigger Warning. My name is Daniel Nardicchio. We're here with, this guy sold out Carnegie Hall 2 times. I only did it once with Alan Cumming. He's on some of my favorite shows, Glee, Curb Your Enthusiasm, RuPaul's Drag Race. He's been on numerous times. But my all-time fucking favorite show is 30 Rock. And he was on 30 Rock. I just love him. And he's also a really, really sweet guy. We don't really know each other, but I can tell you're just a really awesome guy. I'm so excited to have you.
Kind eyes.
Welcome to the microphone,
I'm
Cheyenne
amazing.
Jackson. You are amazing. If you do say so yourself.
Yes, no, I was telling Paul, my music director, who's sitting behind me, oh wow, this picture behind you.
Yeah,
this
that's
is-
an old
this is
employee.
good
He gave it
stuff.
to me. He bequeathed it to me when he died. And I was like, you can't. There's a picture on my wall of this ex-employee who died of cancer who has a giant cock. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then then you're stuck in this moral quandary where you can't throw it out because
No,
he
you
bequeathed
need
it
to
to
leave
you.
it forever.
So you put it in the Fire Island house.
It's worthy.
Because
Yeah,
here's the
no.
only place you can get away with a giant cock photo.
I love
I didn't
it.
even know Brad had a dick. Like, anyway, I'm
Does
sorry.
it give you any pangs of necrophilia?
No, it made me realize
Little pangs.
that was
Little pangs.
Little
to
scotch.
me,
Might
that
do.
picture's called missed opportunity.
Missed.
Oh, I love it. See, that's your hand at the top going, let me
Let me have it. I
Shoot
should've
your
got
shot, Mary.
that. All right. Anyway, listen. You were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was saying to Paul, I was trying to remember where we first met, but yeah, it was at Life Ball.
I remember. I'm not going to say it on the air, but there was
Yeah.
something that you and Monty at the time said
Yes.
to me that was very, very funny. Which.
Oh yes, my ex-husband.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
totally. He was a sweet guy. I met him. I actually saw him a few times after that. Ran into him here and there.
Yep.
And but anyway.
Not me. It's okay.
All right.
It's all right.
You were also on The Masked Singer. You know how many of my friends have been on The Masked Singer?
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't even realize it.
Should have kept the mask on.
Ricky did it. Ricky Lake. Jake Shears did it in
Oh,
England. It's like very interesting show.
It is
It's
actually
very
in my show
weird.
tonight. I do a bit about it because
yeah.
it's very it's I pull the curtain back.
Are
It's-
so you're allowed to reveal the mystery? Like, are you mic'd inside? I always
You're
wonder.
mic'd inside. You're actually singing live. I thought like, no fucking way, are you singing live? But no,
You can sing.
a little bit sometimes on
I'm
Thursdays.
kidding. You're singing
You're gonna have
tonight.
to prove it
to
tonight.
prove it. But yeah, you are singing live, and my character was the Frog Prince, and so I had a head this big, which looked fabulous, but it was about 80 pounds, and all I could see was out my mouth. I had no peripheral vision, and yeah, it was wild.
No, because the costumes, I mean, to me, they look so uncomfortable.
They're so uncomfortable, and so much so that I had to put a block of like
Like a cold rag, right?
not only that, but like a block of like styrofoam to hold it up just so I could sing because it was pulling my neck down.
That would be uncomfortable. Though,
It was
for singing, right?
crazy, and he
Yeah.
was sweating. And I remember the week prior, musical expert Jenny McCarthy. We love Jenny. Jenny had guessed that I was Alex Rodriguez based on my physique.
A vaccinated.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, exactly.
Now, Ricky said though that it pays really
It
well.
pays great, and
Yeah,
the
that's
longer
what-
you're there, the better. But yeah, she had guessed that I was Alex Rodriguez, and I was like, okay.
Who's that? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Is
that.
it a professional baseball player?
Oh,
Right,
that's why I
right.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but in these
Jesus.
outfits, you could only see through the mouth, and you can see out and you can hear. And I remember the people in the front row who'd been there all day watching this. It was a husband and wife. The husband, they were just over it, and they didn't know I could hear them. And he leans over to his wife. He's like, "Yeah, I think that could be A-Rod. I mean, look at his big legs." And then the wife goes,
Do you have tree trunks?
"Tree trunks." And then
Hot.
the wife was like,
I'm a thick leg guy.
Same. She's like, there's no way that's A-Rod, because did you see the way he moved?
Oh,
And she
shit.
made like gay hands.
Little limp wrist.
Rude and true, but I was
A-Rod's
like,
got limp wrists, though. I've
I
seen
mean,
him talk.
I wanted to be like, Amanda from Minnesota, I can hear you.
Yeah,
that's
but yeah,
so
it's a
funny.
wild show.
Well, you know, I mean, yesterday we were going to have him on, and I had this horrible experience where I got the wrong phone number, and I was texting it all day, and I had this insane post-traumatic stress disorder from when Jennifer Holliday was coming out. So you didn't do what Jennifer Holliday did, but I'll tell you, because you know Jennifer's bipolar, right? And I've had Jennifer.
Jennifer was just on the cruise with me.
So
She was
Jennifer,
2 days
We were
ago.
all on the cruise together, the
That's
Vakaya cruise.
right, yes.
Jennifer is fucking bonkers. But I will say this: we recorded the show she did at the Ice Palace, and it is bar none the. She called me when I asked her to do the show, and we chatted a couple
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, "What should I do? What should I do for the audience?" I said, "Gays love people that overcome adversity, and
Yeah.
you have been gone, and you've got a story to tell.
Yes.
So tell that story, Jennifer." I didn't know if she could still sing, really. So
Oh,
then she was at the
totally.
Carlisle. She asked me to come see it. I went to the Carlisle, and I was like, "Okay, she can still sing," but she was marking at the Carlisle. Marking, for those who don't know, is when you kind of don't sing full out because
Yeah.
you're saving your voice. Because the Carlisle, you can't really belt
It's so small,
because it's
yeah.
so small. She said the first night she did, and the audience was sitting there in the front row wincing because she's so.
Yeah.
So she comes to the island. First of all, she did a show in the city with us.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we got good Jennifer.
Yeah.
But overnight, bad Jennifer came out. So then all of a sudden, she's in the car and mad at us about something. Stella, who you've been dealing with, she's
Yeah.
got mad at Stella and wouldn't respond to our text messages.
no.
So at 5 o'clock, I don't even know where she is. I'm texting her, "Hey, Jennifer," trying to be really cash. "Hey, Jen, I'm just checking in. Like,
What's up,
blah, blah."
Jay?
Getting your hair done? What's going
No
on?
response from her whatsoever. So
Yikes.
I'm thinking the band's already here. Like I had put the band together. They had already, they're here doing their thing.
I
Getting
remember
ready.
you texting me. You're like, she's standing us up.
I'm literally like, she's on her way back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I kept going down to the boats. And all of a sudden she walked off the boat, and it was horrible. The way she looked at me was like daggers. And then I took her to her room, got her set up, went to go pick her up. And she's like, "Honey, I'm so..." I got good Jennifer again.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
anyway, long story
She
short,
gets
it put
she
me
gets
through
back.
it
She
yesterday
gets
when
it
you
back.
didn't respond to the
Oh,
text.
because he had the wrong number.
Well, you did the show before her on the Vakaya cruise, and then
Yes.
she had another one after you, and that was
Yes.
when her mic went out.
Oh,
And I
shit.
thought, fuck me, this is gonna go really bad. And she was you could see her face like wiggling the mic, like, did I do something wrong? On up. She just put it down, and she just belted to the whole auditorium, and it was such a special moment.
It
People were
was.
crying from your show; they were crying for that. I was like, pull it together, faggots.
Oh, that's great.
That was because of all the drugs, though. That's
Yeah.
why they were
No,
crying.
I will say Vakaya's not that way. The other company is
Well,
Yeah.
quite
Vakai
that
is
way.
sponsoring the underwear party, which you didn't go to last night. Or were you there?
Oh, great. We said it 5 times. We're
I
good.
was
We got
there. Just kidding.
it. You didn't go to the panty dance?
I did. I was home with a mask on, FaceTiming my kids. I had to I gotta.
I know,
save
you're like
it,
a
you know?
dad
You
now.
know, totally.
Life
You,
changes.
you're-
Tonight though,
You've been
look
sober a
out.
while, right?
Yeah, I've been off and on sober for about 12 years.
Yeah, that's same here. Same
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Fire Island's a tricky place for sober people.
It is.
Do you have a specific relationship to that? That was sort of what I really wanted to ask you. This island has good sobriety.
Yeah.
And has really good drinking. You know what I mean?
It's funny.
What is your relationship to the island?
I got off the ferry yesterday and I was feeling like good.
I thought you were going to say the sauce.
I got off the
I got
sauce
off the
yesterday.
One day back.
I got off the sauce. No, I walked off the ferry and all of a sudden it just I watched 5 people with drinks walk by and just hot guys with no shirts and I was like, oh wow, this is a lot this is so triggery immediately.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I reached out to some friends, reached out to some fellows, reached out to my husband, and he's like, just take it day by day. You're gonna be fine. I reached out to 3 people today. Yeah, it is. It's pretty triggery. I want to just go bonkers, but luckily,
I got sober here in
did?
April, now 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I went out like after 8 years.
Yeah.
And then it's been like a ping pong game.
Yeah, same.
Of just deciding like I can handle it. I had this shrink who's like, like it was just a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Well, you know a little bit.
Yeah,
of this.
for my 5 sober years, I never came back to the island.
They wouldn't allow you.
Exactly. They're like, can't go in there, can't go in there. Stopped me at the Sayville Ferry.
Exactly. with Megan's Law here, search warrant there.
I've got to register in this county. There's an Amber Alert over here.
Anyway, sorry. We're so excited about your show tonight.
Thank you.
What I mean, by the time that people hear this, will be long over. But I've heard the show is really, really good.
Oh,
You've done a lot of
thank
different
you.
shows, right?
I've
What
done
makes this show different that everyone's been saying, oh, this is I mean, not that the other ones weren't, but I've been hearing it's really great.
Oh, thank you. I think because with this show I wanted it to be more long form cabaret, meaning it's not just in this show I sang this song, and once I did this show, and then not just story. It's actually has a beginning, middle, and end.
Is this the one I was technical directing on the cruise?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
That's right.
Yeah,
Is
you
there-
were the
there's-
one that told me. You were one of the people who told me this is a really good show.
There's some things that are different, but people will be surprised how much there's like stand-up comedy, there's monologue.
I love the stuff
Lots of
about
singing.
your dad in the small town and then becoming it.
Because you
Yeah.
are the quintessential corn-fed sort of. You're from
Fully.
You're from a town of
Spokane.
like 12 people,
Yeah,
aren't you?
415 people in
Jesus.
Old Town, Idaho. Yeah,
Yeah.
right out of Spokane. So, yeah, it's that, but also I have a new show coming up in Carnegie Hall on December 8th, my first solo show. I've guested there and I've been with the
okay.
Pops, but this is my first all me.
Wow.
So I'm trying out some new things tonight.
His third sellout, I'm predicting.
Yeah, totally.
from
I
your
did
mouth.
Alan there and I did Cheetah there. I produced both of them, and it was the Cheetah. Cheetah was my girl. We that was the person out of all the sort of people we work with that I had the closest relationship with. She, her last show she ever did was on that stage. She fell
At the Ice Palace, not
She-
at Carnegie Hall, at the Ice Palace.
at the Ice Palace. She fell while she was doing a number from Chicago.
Some leftover lube.
From the underwear party. She fell into the drum kit and then got up and finished the number and then had to be escorted off stage, and she never went on stage again. And it's so,
That's not your
this-
story, Cheyenne.
Yeah,
We-
well, it might be, girl.
you
She-
guys.
Look
Does
out
anybody
for-
have a drink?
Can I just say, and this always gets me emotional when I say this, a packed room of people watching Cheetah Rivera. She falls, like I said,
Yeah.
there are people obviously filming the numbers. I get emotional saying this. No one posted it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You don't understand how much
Yes.
that makes me love gay people.
Yes.
That because
they get it.
no one posted Cheetah falling. No
Right.
one posted about it.
No.
When we carried her off stage, people just really. I mean, Cheetah Rivera.
We had doctors come back to the dressing room bringing like orange juice and
Took care
water.
of her.
and,
People
Yes.
just that woman. I mean,
And then she
just,
took us out to dinner
and then she took us
afterwards.
out to dinner. So she really wanted to show people she was okay. So she
Yeah.
said, "Well, she didn't take us. I had to pay." But anyway, that was Rosie, though. Her assistant, Rosie's a ball buster. I don't know if you know that. She looks like Annie, like a
She got those
70-year-old
T-Rex arms when the
Annie. Yeah,
check
she's
comes.
English. Anyway, she would make me pay for anything. For everything. But
Cheetah.
Rosie was a trip. But anyway, yeah, Cheetah, that was her. Yeah. So hopefully this won't be your last.
Look
I
out,
mean,
look out.
if I fall into the drums,
I was
people
gonna say,
will post it.
Look
and
out
that's
for that
okay.
drum kit.
Yes.
You might get posted if you fall
But
into
we
the
keep
drums.
having Marilyn May back, and I keep thinking this is going to be her last year. And she's Marilyn. I talked recently, and the cutest thing ever. She said, "I've now signed a lease for my apartment month to month."
Hey, I mean,
94, 93?
94.
97.
97.
Shut up.
Look it up. 97.
Jesus.
Wow.
I mean, I'd be month to month in my 80s.
I mean, same.
yeah.
But you haven't paid rent in a long time.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
And life's a gift.
I know that you have to go. Is there anything else you want to ask him before we head out?
I want to know what triggers you, Cheyenne.
Oh yeah, this show's called Trigger Warning. My trigger last week was Patty LuPone was framed.
Oh.
I know you can't really say anything. I'm gonna let you. Patty really was framed, and I have a backstory on that. I'll tell you later. But
By her own
you
brain?
want to hear the story?
No.
No. And my trigger warning on last week's episode was I hate when you get somewhere or you're
around
doing
like-
something and people are like, "Oh, you just missed it. New York was great.
Oh, Berlin
10 years
was
ago.
great
Berlin
when-
was
yeah.
amazing at the fall of the wall." You're like, "Well, it's great now. What
Yeah.
wait, what was it you said, Daniel? It's still good. You're bad."
No, when people said, "Oh my God, the Ice Palace was so much better in the '70s." No, you were better in the '70s. Your joints were better.
Yeah,
You know, so anyway.
I also hate that. I think the first thing that comes to mind, and I'm realizing it as I get older, I think I have this thing called misophonia, where when people make sounds when they eat, I lose my shit. I hate it.
Loud chewers.
Loud chewers. And my son, he's, my kids are 8, but when he's eating, he's now out of he's still cute, but now it's not so cute when I can see and hear his food.
How's the
But,
corporal punishment working out with the 8-year-old?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Really slap him in the line.
Yeah, all. But yeah, that's the thing that I'll be in the best mood. And if I go to a movie or something and the lady in front of me is like, I'm like,
All right, I agree with you on that one, but I will say one thing: my dog Bo is the most adorable chewer. When
Dogs
he chews,
are fine.
dogs have this crunchy
Dogs are
sound. It's
fine.
incredible.
yes,
Yeah.
that's almost
But
like,
humans, yeah.
ASMR.
Oh yeah, ASMR totally. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you.
You know what? You get a few parting gifts. I'm going to give you a couple Do you get parting gifts when you go to other podcasts?
No. Give
Okay,
it.
great. Red Eye is our club in the city socks.
Okay, love it.
John Waters signed book Liarmouth, and a shirt that I am selling on my website. Being an ally is not enough. Transition.
Wait a minute. Why don't I get that?
You're getting it. Oh,
why
being an
don't I get
ally
the
is no
show?
longer enough. You should transition.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
It's kind of tongue in cheek.
No, I just woke
It's
up
no
from a
longer
nap.
protect the dolls, it's become a doll.
Become
love
a doll.
that.
Yeah,
Love
exactly.
that.
The
Sorry that
girls
you had to explain
love it when you wear that shirt because it's so funny because it's just
this
like it's
color.
not enough anymore. You got to transition.
I love it. It's a great color. Thank you.
We adore you. Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you,
You're
guys.
such a sweetheart. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
you were
Thanks for doing this. Can't wait to see the
literally-
show
Yes,
tonight.
thank you.
Totally.
Again.
Unfortunately, I won't be there, but
All right.
I'm just kidding. I'm going to be there.
I'm just going to sit here and eat.
Let's bring out some tortilla chips if we.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Cheyenne Jackson. Thank you, Cheyenne.
Thanks so much, Cheyenne.
guys.
We'll see you
in a
next.
little bit. Yeah, I always forget how good my voice sounds until I have these headphones on, and then I'm really in love with myself.
Oh, so dreamy.
I know, right?
It's like
sexy.
silky milk chocolate.
Well, God, that was a great night, wasn't
Holy shit. We're just back from Cheyenne Jackson show at the Ice Palace.
it? I can't even. I don't even know what to say. That was so beautiful. It was like I was crying.
Yeah.
There were moments where I was like, "My God, he sounds like George Michael,
Yeah.
one of the greatest voices out there, male voices."
Male gay voices,
Yeah,
let's be honest.
yeah,
I mean,
totally.
his story was from such a queer heart. It was really incredible.
Yeah, everything about the show, the structure of it was so solid that I really didn't expect it.
Neither did
not.
I.
I knew that he had a great voice. I knew that he was a good singer. I've heard good singers. My theory now with this whole thing now with the with working with all these people is a lot of people have good voices.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
They're not all great storytellers.
right. Great
Through their
storytellers.
voices.
Exactly. And he told these great stories about being gay, and that story that he's going to do for a show at Carnegie Hall December 8th is really exciting about Matt and
And I mean, we don't
the first gay
really
crush.
we don't really plug a whole lot of people that aren't working
Well, I've
with
plugged
us.
a lot of people.
Yes, you have. And you might tonight. We're deciding if we're
might,
going
yeah.
out tonight or not. Go
Probably.
and see Cheyenne Jackson as soon as this episode will be out and you'll be able to buy tickets. See Cheyenne Jackson at Carnegie
I agree
Hall.
wholeheartedly. What I saw tonight was, first of all, I will say this. The Ice Palace has the best sound. It's better than 54 Below.
Yeah.
It's better than most of the places that I've done shows, from 54 Below to Town Hall to these places that I've been doing shows for years. I don't know. It's Austin Derrick.
Austin
You and
Derrick.
Austin
My
Derrick.
God.
The sound is so fucking
I
good.
don't need any
now.
praise for that. That's
for
Austin
him
Derrick.
to say, "Oh my God, the sound was so good," and he performs all over the fucking place.
All over the place. Yeah.
It makes me so proud. But to have that kind of sound, to be able to, for them to be able to get their story out and be able to tell, like,
Yeah.
what they're telling. But then I don't know. It just made me so proud for the whole experience that I can't wait to. I now want. I can't because we're going to be in Mexico. But I wanted to go to Carnegie.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I would be troubled tonight to pick my favorite song or moment. And that doesn't happen a lot for shows we go and see or even shows we produce. Like, we can always be like, oh, that. Like when Patty sang Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. That was the moment.
Yeah. When she was like bonus
You know.
track, and then she came and did that fucking That was it, right? She did bonus track. 'Cause
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
the show was Out of a Hat.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and songs from a
But
hat.
I mean, tonight, every song he did, and the way he was able to tell the stories where you're like almost weeping, and then it was like bang, punchline.
Exactly. It was great. And the stories from the kid and the dad. I mean, as someone who never really had a good fatherage, I'm going to make that word up, but
Yeah.
didn't have really good fatherage. It was like so moving to hear about someone who actually had a great relationship with their dad. And it was very moving. And I don't know, I just thought he was great. I unfortunately today I meant to tell him the story that he and I had talked about when we went on the plane to Life Ball in 15 years ago. He and I were on the plane and we were talking about I had worked a lot with Peaches, Fuck the Pain Away Peaches. I love Peaches. And I
She's
think
so great.
so underrated.
She's so great.
Such a genius. And she never has gotten her really due because that song became kind of like novelty.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's actually
But the rest
super
of her
talented.
stuff is so
She's
genius.
such a good singer, such a smart performer, and she never got her due. So I was talking to him about Peaches, and he said, "Well, it's so funny you'd say that. I was working on 30 Rock, which all you have to say that, and I'm like immediately I melt. 30 Rock is the fucking funniest show. The best joke I've ever heard in my life is my single is dropping. I don't know if you ever saw that episode where the woman's single is dropping and she's like a housewife and she's like, my single is dropping. They're like, what are you talking about? She's like, my single, it's called My Single is Dropping.
And it's dropping.
And it's dropping. Such a great fucking joke. I don't know. The guys from 30 Rock are genius. But anyway, I was telling him about like Peaches. And he said, "Oh my God, that's so funny. You mentioned that I was with Tina Fey recently, and she's a big Peaches fan."
Is Tina Fey really?
Yeah,
Oh.
and which makes me love
Smart
Tina Fey
women.
even more.
Smart women.
And he says, and I played her the video of Miss Piggy singing "Fuck the Pain Away" on YouTube, which if you look, you can find. There's a video of Miss Piggy
so good.
singing "Fuck the Pain Away," and yeah, it is so funny. And Tina Fey loved it and was trying to figure out a way to work it into the show, the song.
Yeah.
And I was then later worked with Peaches, and I told her that story, and she was like, "You don't understand. Tina Fey's my goddess." And it was such a full circle, nice moment to these women to know that they may never work together, to know that they each like really
Are
respected
doing
their
it.
work.
Yeah,
It was a really great. So working with Cheyenne, I want to do more. I hope we can.
And I'm sorry, like I would be remiss if I didn't call out his pianist, Paul. I mean,
totally.
There are ways that people can play along a song while somebody is singing and emoting. But the way Paul was playing that piano tonight, like the emotions, he was on stage himself, He really shared in that show with Cheyenne.
That's a really good point. That's like what I've seen before with other performers, and I'm not going to say, Seth Rudetsky is someone is an example that this show is more about Seth and Cheetah, Seth and Patty, Seth and Audra. And I like even Kiki and Herb is a lot about Herb, and there's nothing wrong. Kenny Melman's great and genius, and Lance is Lance, and they're great. But there was something about this guy saying, "I'm literally invisible, and I'm just going to give this
no
guy
microphone,
the stage."
no nothing.
Which is it's great with Kiki and Herb, and it's great with Seth Rudetsky. I'm not saying anything wrong about them. But but I love this guy was just like, I'm here, and this guy's going to shine.
Yeah.
It's really great. Kind of like you do with me.
Kind of like I do with you. I'm just in the back playing the world's tiniest violin.
Quiet, suffering wife. Like I remember when I went once to Provincetown for the Tall Ships weekend.
Just a baby making dishwasher.
Baby, exactly. What is it they say? What's the first thing a woman does when she gets out of a battered shelter? The dishes, if she knows what's good for her. Such a fucking shitty joke. Sorry, kids. I know you're gonna get upset, but whatever. It's a joke. Fucking
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Exactly.
It's like, why don't you buy a housewife a watch for her birthday or Christmas? Because there's a perfectly good clock on the stove.
I mean, I'm sorry. We're from Ohio. Those jokes were funny in the time that we were, and they probably are shitty now. And of course they're shitty, and I believe that. But like, get over yourselves.
Of course, get over yourselves. It's humor, and we don't mean it.
It's like and at this point, I don't.
If you've listened to this many episodes, you know what you got yourself into.
Yeah, exactly. But what was it saying? I completely forgot.
That's all right. It's okay. We were talking about how great it was, how that guy gave.
Well, I will tell you,
Cheyenne the
this
show.
is so funny that I have Trimix at the house here on Fire Island. I'm going to be upfront about it. Trimix is what Adam uses every day. It's
you keep it here at the house for me. I didn't even see that bus coming.
Oh my God,
I
girl.
didn't buy fare. You just pushed me right into the street.
Trimix is what you inject your cock with when you've far surpassed ever using Viagra. And a lot of people in my life are now using it because they're either of a certain age or they're on a certain drug. But
But it also doesn't process through your heart, which is really nice. Like Viagra can cause some damage. Trimix is literally just a localized thing.
Yeah, no, totally. It's great. I love it. And so anyway, a friend of mine who we both know because we're working on a project with him in Mexico called me up last night. He's at the Ice Palace. He's like, I need, Mayday, SOS. He sent out the flag, clear. Exactly. I need some Trimix. So I was like, I had a bunch of people at the house here, and I was like, I don't want them seeing this because it suddenly becomes about like, I'm like the drug dealer, pharmaceutical guy. So I'm like,
Go see Dr.
I'm
Cock.
like, get out of my fucking house. So finally they left and he showed up and then he went in there and he did one syringe and he's like, it's not working. And I was like, girl, I don't know what to tell you, girl. And
You can't revive the dead.
yeah. And so I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I got a ballpoint pen here. You can fill that up and try and shove that up your fucking urethra. So anyway, no, he finally got enough to get a hard on and he was walking out.
By the way,
door
you
and
don't
he's
have
like,
to shove it up your urethra for it to work.
yeah, that's true. You're right. And he was walking out the door finally with a hard on to go to have fun at the underwear party, which is like a block away. And then he said, thank you so much. And I just looked at him. I was laying on the sofa and I just said, I'm the wind beneath your wing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was so stupid. Anyway.
How did we get from Cheyenne's beautiful show to you being the wind beneath your erections?
You know what the interesting thing about Cheyenne is that I'm going through this thing now at 58 where I see people like Cheyenne, who's been around for been around for such a long time.
We've got some dogs.
Yeah, that was Archie, one of the dogs that's visiting here.
It's like Noah's Ark of
poor
canines. I
dog
love
ran
it.
and jumped up against the screen. Didn't realize there was a screen there. But anyway, I'm 58 years old, and I see someone like Cheyenne Jackson. I've seen him for 15, 20 years in modern culture, So I'm assuming, and this is just a mind fuck that you're going to go through. You're going to experience it because you're like 42 now, right?
Yeah.
I think he's younger than me until we start talking. So we're backstage, and the cue to go on stage was "Baby I'm Burning," which is always the song that I tell people, like, that's the song we're going to play. And when so it's like dun 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 dun, and it plays. That's the song I always tell people because it gets the audience going.
I love it. Yeah.
And that's the song I always say. Sam knows it.
I mean, it's fucking Dolly. Come
it's
on.
fucking Dolly. And he even said on stage, "Oh my God, I love that Dolly song. I've never heard it before." Yeah, "Baby I'm Burning."
Our studio on
Yeah,
set's
that was
getting
our studio
Riley.
on. So we're backstage, and he goes, I'm just turned 50. You're 58? Because I had mentioned it earlier. And he goes, so what? How do your 50s feel? And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, you're right. You're younger than me by 8 fucking years. Not that I look at him and think that he looks
by
older.
like almost all of the 50s. And it's not an old joke, but like so many things are experienced like from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. And at least from my standpoint, it's all gotten so much more beautiful with every passing decade. So you've had 8 of your 50, and he's like, tell me about it.
Well, and literally, we're standing there. He has the microphone. He turns it on, and I hear dun 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 dun, and I have the door slightly creaked open. And I'm watching the piano player go on stage, and the audience is cheering. And he goes,
So being a creeper like you normally are, just peering
totally,
through a crack door,
cranking one off. No, and he and I are standing there, and he goes, and this is what I love about him. I have to say about Cheyenne, a little bit I know about him. He said, so yeah, I just turned 50. How are your 50s for you? And I'm thinking, I would be shitting bricks if I had to walk out into a packed room at the Ice Palace and do a show. Alan's like that. When he did Carnegie Hall, and we would stand backstage, and he would be like, "Oh, Daniel, what do you want to eat for dinner later?" Whatever.
Is that your Scottish accent?
That was really bad. I did it earlier better. I did better one earlier.
Oh, Daniel.
Really, Daniel. I can't do it now like I always go.
Really,
Irish.
Daniel.
Really, Daniel. Oh, poor Daniel. No, I'm now giving him an Irish.
Daniel.
Poor Daniel. I give him an Irish one, but I actually can't do a Scottish one when I'm a little more sober. But what was the point of all this? And so we're standing
bricks
back there.
going on
He's talking about, and I'm thinking, oh my God, you're 8 years younger than me, and you're standing here about to go on our stage, which is really great. I don't feel like I'm a loser at 58, but I looked at him and thought, wow, you're 8 years younger than me. And then he said, so what have you learned from this experience? And and then all of a sudden it was like, you got to go. And then went out on stage. And so during the beginning of the show, I started thinking about it. That's why when we were walking over
so you had a very reflective experience tonight.
Well, imagine as you get older, it gets more and more, you get more and more reflective about stuff because you start to think like, I have a lot more time behind me than I have in front of me.
Absolutely.
And you start to think like, when people come up to you and start talking to you at a party or whatever, you start thinking, these are moments that I'm never going to get back. I don't know if I want to talk to you.
Exactly.
If they're obnoxious, I don't mind if you
But no, it's like, I mean, I say to people all the time, and I was fortunate enough to realize this early on. It was somewhere in like my early 30s. That's like, if all of the world were to just disappear and we were just in existence, just us, like, you didn't have capitalism or socialism or anything like that. No currency. All we truly have as human beings is time, right? Right. And it's how you spend it, how you waste it, who you hold time for, who you give a little time to, you know, all those things. So those conversations where people come up and you're just like, you know what? I got a lot to do and little time to do it.
And that's kind of why nightlife is harder for me now, even though I've been talking a lot about it. And I'm going to continue to talk a lot about why I'm leaving nightlife and I don't want to be around it anymore is because it's based on very short-term conversations. You know, Cheyenne finished the show, and I was walking backstage, and Michael Kors was there, and Cheyenne wanted to meet him, and I had to bring him backstage. And so I'm looking for Michael Kors, and someone walks up, and he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I want to say I can't say it right now because I don't want to hurt someone's feeling, but I was, and I'll explain later, but I can't because I want to hurt someone's feelings. But I was, and this guy came up to me, and I'm like standing there looking for Michael Kors. I'm on stage, I'm trying to get everything together, and he goes, "So how are things going in Mexico?"
Read the room,
and
girl.
I was like, honey, I can't. Like, such a long conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't
like
right
approach
now.
me when I'm sitting down in the sun.
Great show and keep moving.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Great show. You did a great job. Keep moving.
Yeah.
And I understand everyone wants to
learn
have
how
their
to
moment.
hang on to coattails.
Exactly.
I have perfected it.
You are literally.
Well, I mean, it was wonderful tonight. It was absolutely incredible. I'm so happy that you said to Sam Taylor and myself way back, I think it was in January or February, I think we should have Cheyenne Jackson. And we were like, oh, yeah, okay.
Well,
like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, we weren't exactly enthusiastic, but it seemed like a great idea. So the numbers matched. Cheyenne's schedule worked out. It was something you brought up. And that was just an absolutely wonderful show. And I'm sorry for anybody who missed it.
No, and I will say this on that note. I wrote him about the podcast. So I told people before, I said, he was supposed to do the podcast last night, and through a series of fuck ups, like his people gave me the wrong number, and so I was texting him, and then he got here late and checked into the hotel I didn't know, and we were doing the podcast and whatever. So we missed our chance last night. So then today he was at the beach all day. I was texting him a couple times. He didn't respond because he was at the beach, left his phone here. It's his day off. I understand. So 5 o'clock, I texted him and I said, Cheyenne, here's the deal. I know you have a sound check in a half an hour. Adam and I want 15 minutes of your time. I didn't know you guys had met or knew each other or whatever. So I was like, you know, and I understand completely if you don't want to do it, do not feel obligated, blah, blah. Right. And he wrote me this, which I thought was really sweet. He said, what about this? 5:15 podcast at your place, 10 minutes, and you have me back for next summer. Deal? I mean, I guess you have to see what I do tonight, but I'm confident. And there was something about that was so warming because it's like smart because he's like basically like, I'll do the podcast video, but also was like, I like it when people show me that they want to work here. Absolutely. And they want to work with us. It's not about the money. He's not making that much money.
No, he's not making that much money.
He's not making that much money. He's not making 30 Rock TV, NBC.
No. But he's doing what he loves.
Right.
And he trusts us to give him a space he can do it in.
Yeah. And so because of that, I said, you know, next year is going to be a big year.
And I'll be honest with you. We might have him back.
I thought, are you serious?
No, of course not. Of course we'll have him back. It was wonderful.
It was one of my top 5 shows.
That was acting. Did you? Wow, I had you.
Oh, no, I was going to say, okay, I was a little bit confused. I was like, what? No, it was one of the top 5 shows that we've had at the Ice Palace. That, Jennifer Holliday, obviously the Patties and the Bernadette left me cold, but, you know, that's just me. I don't really understand Sondheim.
I felt the same.
I just don't understand Sondheim. You know, not a day goes by.
I love Sondheim. She left me cold.
She was cold.
Yeah.
But the audience
loved her.
Gideon Glick, that actor from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, texted me, I cried gay tears today because of this show. So you know what?
That's what we're doing up the ramp. It's what we're doing.
I'm not about what I want. I'm about giving people what they want.
Well,
because
I am what I
can
am.
stay at home and watch what I want on YouTube.
Yeah. I watch
signed
what
up
I
for
want.
premium. Exactly. I signed up for premium on YouTube so I can watch whatever I want.
I don't even get
ad-free.
commercials on YouTube, bitch.
Exactly. So I'm happy to give you guys what you want, but I will say this, that I would have him back now because that show was so good. Next year's the year of all the hits.
All the hits.
John Waters, Patti LuPone. I want to bring back any show that I felt like was like, Jennifer, she would do it. I don't know, but
every Saturday, let them have it. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to be triggered by anything after such a beautiful evening, but do you have a trigger warning for this week?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What's that?
When people don't read the room, when I'm in a situation where I'm working and I'm literally standing there sweating, trying to go back and deal with the performer, and people come up to you and I don't want to use that verb. I got to have him bleep it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to have Josh bleep it. So I'll just say it. And is about someone that we really love who has this weird way of stopping you in the middle of, you'll be doing everything and just going, so how you been?
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden you're just like, girl, do you not read the fuck? One of the sweetest guys I've ever met. He had a is one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. But he always finds this way when I'm talking to someone that I really want to talk to. He just stands there.
He's an energy vampire.
I'm not going to say that because he might figure out his name. I'm going to say he needs to learn to read the room. I'm just people. It's not that important.
Yeah.
There was this guy who came into the dressing room who was just like waiting to talk. These people, Cheyenne. I love Cheyenne. He's a great guy. It was great. It's just a celebrity. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, let people just move through the world and like stop. So my trigger is sometimes I feel like I get very upset that people feel, and I'm nobody.
Yeah.
But I'm somebody in a very small microcosm. And so I can only imagine, well, I know what it's like because I was with Alan, who's my business partner, Alan Cumming. And people, someone actually wrote me just now. I was walking with Cheyenne to the theater tonight, and I had two of the pups. And people kept bumping into me and being like, oh my God, I love your dogs. They didn't notice. So Cheyenne, I said, this is so great. Alan used to love this because people don't even notice you because of the cute dog. So someone wrote me, I saw you with Tabasco. I can't believe I didn't realize it was Cheyenne Jackson. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He just wants to get from point A. Yeah. He's not going.
Wants to get from the podcast studio to the sound check.
He's not like thinking, oh my God, that person didn't recognize me. So let people just fucking live their lives and go to work.
Yeah. I mean,
that was my trigger.
My trigger this week is the exact same thing, but not so much with a boop boop energy vampire or anything that. But people are always amazed, and I love it. I don't want them to be amazed. I find it funny. I am severely ADHD. And severely. And I am running on all cylinders and doing 18 different things. And people will literally...
And none of them well, by the way.
None of them well. No. 60 to 80% tops. When people say give 110%, I would
say you're 100% top. But your effort is 60% tops.
I mean, people will see me running from left to right, up and down, and they'll stop me to just be like, I just want to tell you, I love everything you're doing. It's so amazing. It's great. Which is fine. That's such a wonderful sentiment. But once again, read the room. Like, I am sweating, huffing a cigarette, like carrying 3 speakers or something. And they're like,
just yell it out when they walk by you. When I saw Tracy Ullman, who's one of my ultimates, Tracy Ullman, you know who I'm talking about, right? The comedian.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw her in an airport once, and I was like, people said,
The Simpsons started on her television show.
Okay, yeah. You people always talk about who was that celebrity that you're like, would not know what to say. I saw her in an airport. I walked by her and said, I fucking love you.
And kept on fucking going.
Walking.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to hear me going, oh, that character that you did.
It's like the Chris Farley episode on SNL where he's like the Chris Farley show and he's got Paul McCartney and he's sitting there sweating all nervous. He's like, so do you remember that time when you were in the Beatles? And Paul McCartney's like, uh-huh. And he's like, yeah, that was great, man. That was great. The Beatles were great.
Yeah.
He knows he's in the Beatles. Just be like, Paul, your music changed my life.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
That's all you need to do. Exactly. They will respect you and like you more for that than they will if you stop them. on their day to say, "Oh my God, I loved you in that episode of Law and Order."
Yeah.
Like they're like, "Okay, thank you," but like I got shit to do.
I'm late for my plane.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this was your trigger warning this week. We could go on and on ad nauseum. But like and subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts. I'm Adam Meathammer Clash.
Go see Cheyenne Jackson December 8th at Carnegie Hall. And
Do yourself the favor.
And we will be talking to you soon. Thanks for listening.
Bye now.
Bye.
Trigger Warning, hosted by Daniel Nardicio and Adam Meathammer Klesch, is a Pride House Media production and produced by Josh Rosenzweig. Please note, the views reflected in this podcast do not represent the views of Red Eye, the Ice Palace, or any of its subsidiaries. And any reference to scat, shrimping, upper deckers, skanks, masturbating, rump riding, wolf bagging, Cleveland steamers, jigglypuffing, rusty trombones, Cosby sweaters, Mexican pancakes, and Alabama hot pockets are the views of Mr. Nardicio and Mr. Klesch and his listeners, not the establishment. If you are offended, please seek immediate psychiatric attention.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And while you're there, leave us a rating and review. It really helps others discover the show. And if you didn't enjoy this episode, don't tell anyone.
Stay connected and join the conversation by following us on Trigger Warning Podcast.
And you can send us your questions or hate mail to triggered@triggerwarning.com.